With the passing of a Hollywood legend and an American original, died today in Los Angeles with her family by her side.
Shocking loss of another Hollywood great, Debbie Reynolds.
It sounds like you're saying she willed herself to die.
She didn't die from a broken heart. She just left to be with Carrie.
On December 23, 2016, passengers on a flight from London to Los Angeles heard a commotion mid-air. An announcement came over the intercom, asking if there was a medical professional on board. A woman in her early 60s had gone into cardiac arrest.
35 heavy. I need the nature of the medical emergency and also the sex of the patient, and is there medical personnel at the gate?
That woman was Carrie Fisher, actress, writer, and the face of Star Wars royalty. At 11:46 a.m. Pacific Time, United Airlines Flight 935 made an emergency landing in Los Angeles. Paramedics boarded the plane immediately. Carrie Fisher was unresponsive.
I can see from her medical records that Carrie was injected with epinephrine, which is a type of adrenaline to kickstart the heart.
She had been without a pulse for several minutes. For passengers, it was chaos. Oxygen masks, CPR attempts, and the sudden silence that follows panic. For the world, it was the beginning of a tragedy that would unfold over the next 4 days. Fisher had been in London for several weeks, finishing her book tour and filming for the television series Catastrophe. The trip had gone smoothly. She was in good spirits, meeting fans, giving interviews, and talking about her upcoming Star Wars appearance as General Leia Organa in The Last Jedi. There was no warning that anything was wrong. According to her assistant, Carrie appeared tired but upbeat when she boarded the flight home on December 23rd. She settled into her seat in business class, watched television, and spoke with other passengers during the 10-hour trip.
Please return to your seats and make sure that your seatbelts are securely fastened. Thank you.
About 15 minutes before landing, she suddenly stopped breathing.
15 minutes from landing, Carrie's assistant, Corby McCoy, attempts to wake her.
Oh my God! Need some help here!
A passenger who was a nurse began CPR as flight attendants brought medical equipment from the cabin. For roughly 10 minutes, they performed chest compressions until the plane landed at LAX.
On the flight say it looked like Carrie had experienced a heart attack or a cardiac arrest.
Los Angeles Fire Department paramedics took over and managed to restore a faint pulse. She was rushed to UCLA Medical Center and placed on a ventilator in intensive care. The initial report said she was in critical condition but alive.
They connected her to a machine and, it had got a pulse.
Fans worldwide hoped for recovery. For 4 days, she remained hospitalized. Family and friends visited continuously. Her mother, Hollywood icon Debbie Reynolds, stayed nearby at her home in Beverly Hills, telling reporters, "She's stable. If anyone can come back from this, it's Carrie." But on the morning of December 27, 2016, at 8:55 a.m., Carrie Fisher was pronounced dead.
With the passing of a Hollywood legend and an American original, died today in Los Angeles with her family by her side.
I heard that Carrie had died. It shocked me. It threw me for a loop.
Her value and what she brought, not just to Star Wars, but to all of our lives. I'll miss her.
She was brilliant, and obviously we'll all miss her.
She was 60 years old. Her daughter, Billie Lourd, released the statement. It is with a very deep sadness that Billie Lourd confirms that her beloved mother, Carrie Fisher, passed away at 8:55 this morning. She was loved by the world, and she will be missed profoundly. The world mourned instantly. Social media filled with tributes from fans, colleagues, and generations of Star Wars devotees. Mark Hamill called her "my beloved space twin." Harrison Ford said she was one of a kind, brilliant, and emotionally fearless. The tragedy didn't end there. 1 day later, just 24 hours after Carrie Fisher's death, her mother, Debbie Reynolds, suffered a stroke while planning her daughter's funeral.
Shocking loss of another Hollywood great, Debbie Reynolds.
The family is still making memorial service plans, but overnight they told us they're considering one joint funeral for both stars.
She died that same afternoon. Debbie's last words, according to her son Todd, were, "I want to be with Carrie." The loss of both mother and daughter within 36 hours stunned Hollywood and the world.
It sounds like you're saying she willed herself to die.
She didn't die from a broken heart. She just left to be with Carrie.
2 generations of talent, gone in a single year's end. Carrie Fisher's life had been extraordinary long before it became tragic. Born in 1956 to Debbie Reynolds and singer Eddie Fisher, she grew up in the glare of fame. At 19, she landed the role that changed her life. Princess Leia in Star Wars, 1977. Instantly, she became one of the most recognizable faces on the planet. But fame came with pressure. In interviews, she spoke candidly about addiction, bipolar disorder, and the challenges of being a young star in Hollywood.
You started to experiment with drugs at a pretty young age.
I think experiment with drugs is hilarious. I ran out of a lab with beakers. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
My mother once said, because I at some show and said I'm mentally ill, she said, "Dear, you're not mentally ill. You're manic depressive."
Her honesty made her not just a celebrity, but a symbol of resilience and self-awareness. She once said, "I don't want life to imitate art. I want life to be art beyond acting." Fisher became a respected writer and script doctor, known for her sharp wit and intelligence. She rewrote screenplays for major studios, including Hook and Sister Act. Her memoir, Wishful Drinking, turned her struggles into humor and reflection. In 2016, she published The Princess Diarist, based on journals she kept while filming Star Wars. The book revealed her affair with co-star Harrison Ford during the original trilogy, a revelation that reignited media attention just weeks before her final flight. The official coroner's report, released months after her death, revealed the medical cause. Sleep apnea and other undetermined factors contributed to her sudden cardiac arrest.
After the death of Hollywood actress Carrie Fisher, her cause of death now ruled in part sleep apnea, a serious breathing condition that affects millions of Americans.
Toxicology results showed traces of multiple substances, including cocaine, opiates, and MDMA.
Star Wars' Carrie Fisher found that the actress had traces of cocaine, heroin, and MDMA in her system when she died suddenly in December.
But the coroner concluded that it was impossible to determine the precise role they played in her death.
Carrie Fisher died from a heart attack, but her medical report states sleep apnea and other undetermined factors as the cause. But I've discovered something in Carrie's toxicology report that suggests illegal drugs may have played a more significant role than was first thought. And I don't think a heart attack was the cause.
Her daughter, actress Billie Lourd, later released a statement saying, "My mom battled drug addiction and mental illness her entire life. She was ultimately killed by it. She fought it bravely, and I will always be proud of her." The report also mentioned atherosclerotic heart disease, a condition that can trigger cardiac arrest during stress or exhaustion.
A heart attack occurs when the blood flow to the heart is blocked, whereas cardiac arrest occurs when the electrical rhythm of the heart is disrupted.
Combined with sleep apnea, it created a lethal situation. The cardiac event aboard the plane was not immediate. It likely began silently, a gradual oxygen loss that became irreversible mid-flight. By the time the plane landed, too much time had passed. Carrie Fisher's death closed one of Hollywood's most complex stories. Her life had been public, chaotic, and brave. She confronted her demons openly and turned them into art. Even her final year showed her resilience, touring, writing, and returning to Star Wars at 60. Her death also carried historical weight. It came at the end of 2016, a year that had already taken icons like David Bowie, Prince, Alan Rickman, and George Michael.
We'll all love her forever and ever.
Fans described it as the year the stars fell, and when Fisher's mother followed her the very next day, it felt like the final heartbreak of a devastating year. Carrie Fisher's memorial service was held on January 5, 2017, at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Los Angeles.
Carrie's an amazing and unique person. She's got an incredible intellect. She's got real courage, real gall.
Carrie Fisher's last 24 hours were spent 35,000 feet above the ocean, a fitting metaphor for her life. Turbulent, unpredictable, and larger than life itself. She left the world as she lived in it, defiant, unforgettable, and unfiltered. In her own words, she once wrote, "Take your broken heart, make it into art." On December 23, 2016, her heart finally broke. But her art, her words, her humor, her fearlessness will never fade.